In the last 24 hours, some new details have emerged regarding the strike and senior members of the terrorist organization Hamas in Khan Younis on Saturday. The IDF issued a statement confirming that Brigadier General Rafah Salma, the commander of the Khan Younis division, was eliminated in the strike, while the fate of Hamas Chief of Staff Mohammed Deif is still unclear. Elsewhere, the IDF eliminated terrorists who were about to take over humanitarian aid in Rafah, and the IDF also revealed further details about the tunnel network it has discovered running under the Philadelphia corridor. On the northern front, the IDF attacked positions of the Iranian-backed terrorist organization Hezbollah in southern Lebanon and continues to prepare for the possibility of a full-scale war on this front. Finally, the United States Navy reports that it destroyed the 3 Houthi drones in the Red Sea area. So let's dive into the details. I'm Yair Pinto, and this is your Boots on the Ground report about what is happening in Israel on the 283rd day of the war against Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, and all its terror proxies in Yemen, Syria, and Iraq. The IDF has announced that in the last 24 hours, it has launched airstrikes on several terrorists who are operating in the area of the UNRWA school in Abu Arban in the Nusirat area. The building was used for terrorists as a hiding place and an active operative location from which the terrorists planned and carried out terrorist operations against our forces operating in the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, a day after the strike on the Hamas compound located inside the designated safe zone on the El Mawasi in Khan Younis, the IDF and the Shin Bet officially confirmed that the commander of the Khan Younis brigade, Rafah Salma, was eliminated in the attack. There is still no official announcement regarding the fate of Mohammed Deif, the head of the military wing of Hamas. According to Palestinian sources, more than 90 people were killed in the attack, and the hospital was quickly transformed into a fortified Hamas stronghold with heavy compartmentalization. This was done in order to make it more difficult for Israeli intelligence to identify if one of those that were hit was Mohammed Deif. Israeli intelligence has been tracking Brigadier General Rafah Salma for a long time and recently determined that he was coming to the villa and compound belonging to his family, but they decided not to eliminate him, assuming and hoping that at some point Mohammed Deif would join him there as well, presenting an opportunity to get them both at the same time. The elimination of Salma was confirmed after a long surveillance of the compound in the west of Khan Younis, which was a villa surrounded by palm trees that belonged to his family. He has spent more and more time there in recent months after the IDF took over some of his other compounds in the city, both above and below the ground. According to Israeli security officials, Salma spent most of his time in the tunnels, but visited the villa alongside his family members and other armed men when he needed a break from the suffocating heat inside the tunnels. On Friday, intelligence officers received information suggesting that Deif has been seen with Salma in the compound. The news has passed up the chain of command to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who approved the operation almost immediately. IDF jets struck the compound a short time later using at least 5 guided missiles. The attack created a large crater in the compound near the villa. The attack also struck a site inside the humanitarian zone, but IDF sources said that the efforts were made to reduce the risk to the civilians. This is even though the Hamas leaders were shamelessly using them as human shields in the hopes that this would keep them safe from an Israeli attack. IDF Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi issued a statement: "We are determined to continue pursuing the senior Hamas officials who planned the massacre and dedicated their lives to the murder of innocents." Deif was afraid to die, and so he hid in a way that harmed his ability to command. He hid and sacrificed his men and civilians who were around him, although few were hurt. These assassinations are part of the pressure that the IDF is exerting on all parts of Gaza. Every day, there are many Hamas casualties. So guys, please continue to spread the truth and follow us on social media and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're looking for a way to directly support the small businesses and farmers in Israel, especially during these challenging times,